Hi everyone, I hope you're keeping well. It was lovely to see some of you in the class this week, and I know some of you maybe weren't able to link in. So I'm just going to go over some of what we covered in class Monday, and hopefully it will help you with the assignments for this week. Okay, so we're going to create our questionnaire worksheet, our questionnaire document. So the first thing that we're going to look at is we're going to type our heading for the document. So I want to choose a font called Cambria. So if you're looking to choose a font, you can come up, so in the Home tab, on the ribbon, if you come to the font area, you can click on the drop-down menu to get the font that you want. But once you see the font highlighted in blue here, if you know the name of the font you'd like to type with, or you know the name based on the worksheet that you're covering, say for example, if I wanted Times New Roman in here, if I type TIM, it comes up with Times New Roman. I can click on that and that's the one I want. Also, the same works for the size. Once you see it highlighted in blue, you can just type away on whatever one you want if you don't want to go to the trouble of clicking on the drop down. Okay, so for our heading, I do want the font size 18 and I want to pick the font Cambria for the heading. Then I'm going to center our text. So our heading for this document is Local Recycling Questionnaire. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is I want to put a border around my heading. So I'm just going to select that text. I'm just going to backspace from there and select that text by using a keyboard shortcut. So Control and A will select that piece of text. The next thing I want to do is just make it bold, just so it appears larger, more emphasis on it. And I now want to look at just putting a border around my heading. So I'm going to come to, again, in the Home tab, Paragraph Group, and I'm going to come here to Borders. So if I just hover, it'll give you a little definition of what that does. So I'm going to click on the drop down and I'm going to come all the way down to the bottom and I'm going to select Borders and Shading. So then I'm going to click on there. Okay, so in here, in my border style, so in Borders and Shading, and we're in Borders, and in my border style, I want to go with a double line border. So let's have a look at this one. I'll leave it black, but I want to make that a little larger. So as you can see here in my preview window, I can see clearly here what my border around that heading might look like. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK because that looks like what I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And then the last thing I want to do, I'm going to come up here to my highlight function and I want to apply a highlight color to that text. So I'm going to click there. Okay, so that's our first steps, is to type in our heading, center that text, create a border around that text and highlight that section of text. The next thing we're going to do, I'm just going to change my font size back to 12 and we're going to begin to type the questions in our questionnaire. So to do that, I want to create what's called a multi-level list. So we might not have looked at that before now. So they are located again, Home tab, Paragraph Group, and up here you'll be familiar with some of these. So we have bullets, numbering, and now I want to look at creating a multi-level list. So I'm going to click on the drop down and I'm going to go for the first option here. Okay, so at number 1, I'm going to type the first question in our questionnaire. So I hit return and it's offering me a second number, like a numbered list. But I want to have options now for the questionnaire for people to choose their question. So if I tab over you can see there that it gives me the letter A in a bracket. So now I'm going to put my multiple choice options in for people to answer the questionnaire. So all the time, most of the time, occasionally, and not at all. So there are options. So I'm going to hit return and return again, and I'm on to number 2 for my next question. So my next question at number 2 is, how often do you recycle plastic bottles? Okay, hit return, tab across. Okay, so now instead of typing the options each time I have a question, there's 6 questions in our questionnaire. So instead of typing the options each time, I'm going to copy and paste this text. So I'm just going to select that text. I'm going to right click to copy it. And I'm just going to come up here. So again, home tab on the ribbon, I'm going to go to my clipboard. I'm just going to click on the little launch button here, and that will show you. So this is what's pasted at the moment. This is what's in my clipboard. So that is waiting for me to paste it elsewhere in the document. So it's just to show you that you can check in there what's on your clipboard. So I'm going to close that for the moment. And then I'm going to use a keyboard shortcut of Control and V to paste those options. I don't want that E, so I'm just going to backspace that out. So that's just going to show you an easy way to do that. So we'll come down and we'll type our question 3. So question 3, how often do you recycle paper? Okay, and I'm going to Control and V, bear with me there. Sorry, I should have hit return and come down, and I'm going to Control and V to paste our options again. Okay, next question, question 4. How often do you recycle cans and tins? So I'm going to Control and V to paste our options again, and I'm just going to tab down for my next question, question 5. How often do you recycle cardboard? Tab across and Control and V again, and tab down by 1 for my last question, question 6. Do you use a composter for vegetable waste or grass cuttings? Hit return, tab across, Control and V to paste my options, and I'm going to tab down, but I don't want that. I don't want a 7th question. So back up to my heading, there's actually a section of text that I forgot to get you to type in here. So after local recycling questionnaire, we are going to type in here, circle your answer. Okay, and then I'm just going to select that text and give it the same highlight color as before. I might just take that full stop out actually. Okay, so that's our questionnaire document typed up and ready to go. I am just going to try something. If I can take away the highlight color and then select my text all in one and apply my highlight color. Perfect. That's what I want it to look like. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to, on the second page in our document, so we've created our questionnaire on the first page. And I'm going to, actually, I think I will put the full stop back in there. It'll probably just look neater. Okay. And maybe a full stop here. Okay. Oh, now I have my highlight color issue again. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now that we have our questionnaire complete, I want to move on and we're going to create a table on the second page of this document. Okay, so at the end of our document here, I want to move on and add a second page into this document, and I want to be able to adjust the orientation of this page. So to do that, I need to insert what is called a section break. So I need to go to my Layout tab on the ribbon. So currently in my Home tab, I need to go to my Layout tab in the ribbon. So I'm going to click on my Layout tab, and here in the Page Setup group, I am going to click on Breaks. I'm going to see what's available there in the Break section. So I want to insert what's called a section break and next page. So I'm going to click on Section Break Next Page, and as you can see, that will add a second page to my document. So for this page, I want the orientation, the default is in portrait mode. I would like this page to be in landscape because we're going to put a table on this page. So that is our page 2 of our document that is now in landscape mode. So on page 2 of our document, we are going to insert a table. So I'm going to come up to my Home or my Insert tab, and I'm going to click on Table, and we want to insert a table of 3 columns, 1, 2, 3, and 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there is my table inserted. So there are a number of things I just wanted to point out to you about working in your tables. If you wanted to highlight the entire table, to work on the table, or just to select the table completely, rather than clicking and dragging the whole way through the table, which is fine, you can do that. The quickest way to do it is just to click here, and that will select the entire table for you. Okay. And also when we are working in a cell, or when we have our table selected, you'll see up here on the ribbon that we have 2 new tabs available. We have the Table Design tab and the Table Layout tab. Okay, so I'm just going to talk you through 1 or 2 additions that we can, or the changes that we can make to our table. So if I hover my cursor between, let's say I type A, B, C, and D. Okay, so if I want to add a row below row A, I can come to the side here and just click the plus. And now you can see there's a new row between row A and row B. If I want to add a row below row D, I can just come here and click to add a row below. I can also do that if I click into a cell or select the table. I can also do that in the Table Layout tab. So if I wanted to now insert a row between B and C, I can go to my Layout tab, my Table Tools Layout tab on the ribbon, which are the 2 tabs here in blue, and I can say Insert Below. Okay, I can also opt to insert another column to the left, and I can opt to, I had the whole table selected, bear with me there, sorry. So if I just select this column here and I say Insert Left, you can see I get 1 column inserted to the left. If I click back into my cells, and I wanted to have none of the grid lines visible, say, in this first column, if I highlight that column and then I come to the Layout tab and I click on Merge Cells, you can see that now means those grid lines are no longer visible. I'll continue on with the table in our next video. Okay, hope this was helpful to get you started.